It's only fitting that the 1988 World Speedway Final should come here to Denmark, because for the past 4 years, Danes have reigned supreme in World Speedway. The track here at Vojens is smaller than the regular World Final venues like Wembley or Gothenburg, but it's a good one. Lots of room to pass, and the atmosphere is electric. 32,000 fans have braved torrential rain to support their top men, and whilst the favourite has to be reigning champion Hans Nielsen, going incidentally for 3 in a row, anything can happen. 4 men go for Britain, and main hopes rest with former public schoolboy Kelvin Tatum. So 7 nations, 4 Danes, 4 from Great Britain, 2 Swedes, 2 Poles, 2 Hungarians, a Czech and a sole representative from the USA, 5 rides each, 4 laps, and the points: 3 for a win, 2 for a second, 1 for third. The highest total after 20 heats takes the title. Here we go with the first heat, with the track very wet from an earlier shower, but the sun is now beating down. Let's cross our fingers and hope it stays that way. On the inside, riding in red, Erik Gundersen from Denmark. Next to him, Great Britain's Simon Wigg. In the white helmet from Sweden in his first World Final, Conny Iversen. And on the outside, an outsider indeed, Roman Polonski from Poland. So that is the lineup. It is very doubtful whether indeed the final would take place today because of the torrential rain. But the track staff have been working very, very hard to get the surface water off. And indeed they seem to have succeeded, but those pretty bikes are going to be very, very dirty within a very few short seconds as the start marshal brings them to the tape. They're all the way into the first turn, a bit of shoving, but it's Gundersen takes the early lead. Gundersen in red. Simon Wigg hard with him in second place, so Gundersen leads. Wigg in second, already stretching out. Gundersen at the end of lap 1. 2 times world winner, Erik Gundersen, 84 and 85. Beautifully in control. Hugging the inside. Simon Wigg still there in second. And in third place, it's the Pole, Jankowski, disputing it now with Iversen. But it's Gundersen looking over his shoulder. Stretching out that gap to some 20 machine lengths now, dropping Simon Wigg away down the back straight. The crowd enjoying the sunlight. And a beautiful win for Erik Gundersen. 3 points for Gundersen. Wigg comes home in second to take 2. And third place went to Conny Iversen from Sweden to collect the 1 point. A wealth of Scandinavian talent go in this heat. On the inside, Jan Pedersen, the diminutive Dane who rides for Cradley Heath. Next to him from Hungary in his first final, but due to ride for Bradford next year, Antal Kocho. Riding in white, reigning world champion, going for 3 in a row, Hans Nielsen for Denmark and Oxford. And on the outside, the Swede who only last week clinched the Swedish title, Per Jonsson, the Reading racer. Vital for Jonsson that he score points in this, because Nielsen, riding in the white helmet, isn't going to give away any points if he can help it. And it's Nielsen. Nielsen, and down goes Pedersen. Pedersen is down, but Nielsen almost taken wide there. But it's Per Jonsson in the yellow leading. Per Jonsson in the yellow helmet. But the race is stopped, the red flags are out. Picking himself up, tiny Jan Pedersen. 5 feet 3, but on his feet. All 4 go, so with a rerun, all 4 go again. The referee has decided that no one was to blame for this incident, and Pedersen, in fact, didn't really inconvenience anyone in coming off, so he goes. Well, the referee has made the decision that Pedersen's tumble was due purely to the track conditions, and in the light of that has allowed all 4 riders to come to the tapes for the rerun. So Nielsen will get another chance to gate first, and Pedersen hopefully will keep it up on 2 wheels this time, but it is very, very slick here. The rain, of course, cannot drain away that quickly, but a quick rerun on that. Peterson on the inside. Next to him, Antal Kocho from Hungary. Hans Nielsen goes in white. And on the outside, from Sweden, Per Jonsson. Nielsen really champing at the bit. Desperate to get 3 points. He has to get off with the maximum if he's going to stand any chance of retaining his world title. They're all the way. Nielsen trailing his leg, heading for the first turn. And Hans Nielsen indeed takes the advantage. And there's Nielsen is brought down. Per Jonsson went on the inside. Nielsen cartwheeling his way around the track. And the red flags are out. The race is stopped. And there's Nielsen being attended to by a track marshal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the referee's decision is the rider to be excluded shall be the rider in yellow and black. And that is Per Jonsson. The yellow light clearly is flashing.
And here you can see how it happens. Jonsson coming through on the inside, drifts wide into Nielsen. Nielsen has no alternative, and Per Jonsson will be excluded from the rerun. The Danish crowd heaved a huge partisan sigh of relief when their hero got to his feet, and another rousing cheer when he came through the pit gate onto the track for the rerun of Heat 3, apparently none the worse for being down in the dirt. Hans Nielsen cannot afford to throw away any points at this stage of the competition, but of course Per Jonsson, who brought him down, has been excluded from the rerun, so he will score 0, which gives the Hungarian the opportunity of getting at least 1 point. So on the inside, the tiny Jan Petersen riding in red, the Hungarian Kocho goes in blue, and Hans Nielsen, 2 times world champion, reigning world champion and captain of Oxford Cheetahs, goes in the white helmet in the 3rd slot. Lots of room on the track, only 3 of them out this time. Start line marshal bringing Nielsen forward. The tapes are up. Nielsen around the outside. But first into the bend goes Peterson. It's tiny Jan Petersen. Nielsen goes around the outside, neck and neck up the back straight. Nielsen in front in white. Peterson in second place, the Hungarian in third. Nielsen needs the 3 points, can't afford to make any mistakes, riding a beautifully controlled third turn. But Peterson hanging on grimly. Nielsen greatly heeds Jan Petersen. Looking a little bit wobbly as he went into that bend. But staying with Nielsen. Nielsen locks it up. The last lap flag is out. 1 more lap to do for Hans Nielsen from Denmark. Absolutely vital that he gets the 3 points this time. Jan Petersen's coming home for the 2. And the Hungarian having a race all of his own. But Nielsen it is. Nielsen gets the 3 points. Jano Petersen gets the 2. White helmet. He needs the 3 points, but he won't have an easy ride because immediately inside of him, riding in blue, is from the USA and Wolverhampton, Sam Ermolenko, known as Sudden Sam because the way he comes quickly from the back. Immediately on the inside, and the number 1 gate goes to Zenon Kasperjak from Poland. No British League experience for the Pole. And another Iron Curtain contender, former ice race exponent Roman Matusek from Czechoslovakia, rides in yellow and black. But the 2 men to watch, in white it's Tatum, and in blue it's Ermolenko. The battle will be between these 2 as Ermolenko takes the early advantage, but Tatum's still there in second place, hanging on grimly. Ermolenko leads in blue, Tatum in white. And Tatum has to get past Ermolenko if he's going to do anything about having a real chance of lifting the world title for 1988. Third in 1986, Tatum. But Ermolenko looking very calm and composed from California. Captain for Wolves. A regular high point scorer for the Midlands-based team. Sam Ermolenko it is, showing Tatum the way round. These 2 stretching out now over the 3rd place man. Can Tatum do anything? Leaving it into the last lap. The flag is out. It's got to be a last turn stand. Trying to go around the outside. Ermolenko takes it. Tatum in second place in the white helmet. And in third place, riding in yellow, Roman Matosek from Czechoslovakia for the 1 point. Heat 5, and an absolutely vital heat for no less than 3 men running in this, because Erik Gundersen, Chris Morton and Hans Nielsen have each earned 3 points, and as early as Heat 5 this could be the turning point in the competition. 15 heats to go, but one of them is going to score a maximum, one of them is going to go home with 2 points, and one of them is going to settle for 1. The man on the inside, Roman Matosek from Czechoslovakia, is an outsider, but on the other hand, if he gets the bit between his teeth and charges into the first bend, he could well spoil the chances for the 3 men on the outside of him. So riding in red, it's Matosek from Czechoslovakia. Erik Gundersen goes in blue for Denmark. Chris Morton for Great Britain rides in white, and ride on the outside, and he's already gone well from an outside position today so far, Hans Nielsen from Denmark in yellow and black. Chris Morton, Bellevue captain, would be a tremendous fillip for British Speedway if an Englishman were to take the title back to the UK with him. Riders coming to the line now, pushing the tapes, clearing the engine. An awful lot of smoke belching from Nielsen's bike. So on the inside, Matosek. In blue, it's Gundersen. Riding in white, Morton. And Nielsen in the yellow helmet. The start line, Marshall. Satisfied with their positions. Nielsen watching the mechanism at the side of the track, pushing the tape, backs off. That's permitted in World Final. And Morton picked the wheel up, lost traction. And into an early lead goes Gundersen. So Gundersen leads from Nielsen. Erik Gundersen, champion in 84 and 85, leading in blue. Behind him, Hans Nielsen in yellow and black. The Czech is in third in the red helmet, so a bad heat for Morton. Morton struggling at the back. Gundersen in blue. Looks to be as though he's wrapping this one up, but Nielsen isn't finished yet. Superb ride by Erik Gundersen. Gundersen from Cradley Heath, 5 years with the Midlands-based team. Erik Gundersen in good control. The last lap flag is out. On their last lap, Gundersen. Hans Nielsen in second. Still in third place, Roman Matosek from Czechoslovakia. 1 point in his last outing, another 1 point he'll collect this time. But Erik Gundersen it is, looking over his left shoulder. There's nothing Nielsen can do. Gundersen takes it. Hans Nielsen is second. And in third place, Matosek from Czechoslovakia.
Last place, so Heat 5, and that's a vital one for Erik Gundersen here in race 5.
Well, a good result for Gundersen. That will help his World Championship chances no end, because the vital heat over his arch rival and fellow countryman Hans Nielsen resulted in a 1 point edge for Gundersen. Well, as Erik Gundersen edges himself into an early lead in the competition, the man on the inside in the red helmet will be doing his best to emulate him, because Sam Ermolenko has had 1 win so far and is on 3 points, so he'll need to win this one. Just outside of him, riding in blue, it's Janno Pedersen from Denmark. Simon Wigg for Great Britain goes in white. And on the outside, John Jorgensen yet to score for Denmark. And Ermolenko, it is taking the early lead. So Ermolenko leads. Wigg in second, and Wigg coming through on the inside, having a look at the inside. But Ermolenko closes the door. Simon Wigg still with him though. And round the outside goes Jorgensen. So Jorgensen now up into second place. In yellow, Jorgensen for Denmark after 2 points this time. Pedersen, Wigg pushed back into fourth. But Ermolenko leading. Ermolenko's on for 3 points so far, and a neck-and-neck tussle developing now between Janno Pedersen. Pedersen has gone through into second. Simon Wigg at the back, Jorgensen in third. But tiny Jan Pedersen now in blue in second place, but the man in front dictating the race from the driving seat, Sam Ermolenko for California, USA and Wolverhampton. Ermolenko leading, heading for 6 points tally. In second place, still Pedersen in blue. And in third place, it's yellow and black John Jorgensen. Ermolenko takes the 3. Peterson in second. And in third place, Jorgensen for Denmark. We have to assume that Kelvin Tatum has picked himself up psychologically and mechanically from the last heat, because he reappears riding in blue. 4 points scored from 2 rides so far, but on the outside of him, on a maximum, Erik Gundersen. Riding on the outside in yellow and black is Kocho from Hungary, having scored 3 points, but inside in the red helmet, John Jorgensen from Denmark. So Kelvin Tatum has it all to do. All eyes on the blue helmeted rider as they streak off into the first turn, but round the outside goes Erik Gundersen, looking supreme today. Tatum neck and neck with Kocho. Kocho putting in a good performance here this afternoon. But Tatum has already had a severe talking to by his mentor Barry Briggs. He really has to deliver the goods now if he's going to do anything at all. Gundersen in white. Erik Gundersen. Ole Olsen, his advisor, will be jumping up and down, and Olsen incidentally also owns the track here, sliding wide. Tatum has gone very, very wide indeed, almost into the fence, has absolutely blown his chances, because through into second place goes Gundersen. Leading the pack. In the white helmet, it's Gundersen. In second place, it's Kocho. Kocho into second. In third place, Tatum has gone down into third. So Anton Kocho from Hungary has gone up into second. Tremendous win for the Hungarian. Tatum forced down into third because he went wide going into the turn. No mistaking the leader. 9 points from 3 outings. Erik Gundersen from Denmark. In second place, it was indeed Anton Kocho from Hungary. And in third place, 1 point only, I'm afraid, Kelvin Tatum of Great Britain. It really does look at this stage as though his chances of the 88 World Final are rapidly diminishing. Zelen Kasperczak from Poland, equal on 3 each. Per Jonsson from Sweden riding in red, and Chris Morton from Great Britain riding in blue. Simon Wigg goes in yellow and black. He's got 2 under his belt so far. Could also use the 3 points. So this is going to be an interesting heat, because it could well decide the minor placings, and further down the field, ranking at the end of the day in the World Final is very important when it comes to signing contracts for league positions for the coming season and for potential sponsorship deals. The winner of today's final will take away a first prize supplied by the FIM of £3,000, but that is only the beginning of it. The sponsorship is really what puts the cream on the cake at the end of the day. That's why it's so vital to become world champion. And Morton in blue goes very, very wide, and through goes Simon Wigg. Wiggy it is, in yellow and black, leading. So Simon Wigg, the 1985 long track champion, riding with a cracked sternum and also a strapped up knee from injuries sustained earlier this season, looking as fit as a fiddle at the moment. Simon Wigg from Aylesbury doing his utmost to score points in this one. He's on for 3 at the moment if nothing happens, and Morton there was chopped off by Kasperczak. Kasperczak through into second, took the nose off Chris Morton there, going into the third turn. But Wiggy it is, all the way, some 50 machine lengths, and Zelen Kasperczak. 0 so far, but he's on target for 2 points if he can hold this, and he's got Morton breathing down his neck, and Per Jonsson at the back, an unaccustomed position for Jonsson. Jonsson now, and Morton neck and neck, but still in second place, it's Kasperczak. And taking the win, Simon Wigg takes the win. Kasperczak it was in second, and it looked as though Jonsson scraped through for third place in red. The tension really building here coming up to heat 11, because Hans Nielsen has dropped a point. He was beaten by Gundersen. Gundersen is away now on maximum. Hans Nielsen has scored 5 out of 6. But on the outside in yellow and black, Sam Ermolenko is on a maximum so far from 2 rides. He really is the surprise man of the meeting so far today. So Ermolenko sitting on 6. Inside of him, riding in white, Conny Ivarsson from Sweden, having scored 4 points. Nielsen goes in blue, and the Hungarian Tihani rides in red on the inside. This really is going to be a head-to-head between Nielsen in blue Ermolenko in yellow and black. And Ermolenko showing hidden form. Sudden Sam, as he's known, coming good into his third heat now. He will dearly love to get his hands on the 3 points. Nothing's going to stop him. And he has a good gate. Ermolenko gates very, very well. But Nielsen in blue into the lead. But Ermolenko's not giving up. He's still with him. Takes wide. But Nielsen leading. But Ermolenko can come back. He was looking at the inside line. Hans Nielsen it is, though. Hans Nielsen leading, stretching it out already to some 4, 5, 6 machine lengths into the third turn. Ermolenko having to settle at this stage for second. A very polished performance by Hans Nielsen. Ivan Major will have been whispering words of wisdom in his ear. Somewhere along the line he has to try and pull back that point that Gundersen has stretched out. Ermolenko it is still in second. In third place it's Ivarsson, Conny Ivarsson from Sweden in white. The Hungarian bringing up the rear on the last lap now. Hans Nielsen for Denmark, leading Oxford League rider, British League, impeccable performance. Nielsen takes the win. Ermolenko for Wolves and America in second, and in third place, Conny Ivarsson from Sweden in white. So a good ride for Nielsen. That moves him on now to 8 points. He needs to do it. The crowd acknowledging that ride. Well, the restart of Heat 12, and everybody gets a point because it goes without John Davis, who slid off and was excluded from the rerun. So on the inside, Matusek from Czechoslovakia, Jankowski from Poland in blue, in the white helmet, Jano Pedersen, and Pedersen shoots into the lead, round the outside of everybody from the number 3 slot, and a fine, fine start from Jano Pedersen from Denmark, as he heads the Iron Curtain riders away round the second turn, stretching that lead now, 5 feet 3 of him, nothing at all to this young Dane. He came here with a completely open mind. He desperately wanted to do well, and he has indeed turned in some good rides. Pedersen leading in white. In second place from Czechoslovakia, in the red helmet, it's Roman Matusek. And bringing up the rear, that guaranteed to get 1 point unless something dramatic happens, it's Roman Jankowski from Poland in blue. He's only scored 1 so far, so that will at least double his total from this outing. On the last lap, Jan Pedersen not having to rush at all now into the last turn. Matusek it is still in second, but over the line goes Pedersen. A fine win by Jan Pedersen from Denmark. Matusek from Czechoslovakia in second place, and in third place Jankowski from Poland riding in blue for the 1 point. But a good win by Pedersen. Heat 13, and it really is crunch time for Erik Gundersen, starting from gate 4 in yellow and black, because he is on maximum, 9 points so far. But inside him, the American, Sam Ermolenko, the surprise man of the meeting, on 8, and can do everything he can, in fact has every likelihood of ruining Erik Gundersen's unbeaten run. That would mean that Nielsen, who's also sitting on 8 points, can catch him up, and that is a desperate situation for Gundersen to be in. He has to win this heat, and he can in fact dictate the rest of the meeting if he does win this, because he'll go on to 12. That's what he wants to do. On the inside, John Davis again from Great Britain goes in red. In the blue helmet, Per Jonsson of Sweden, only 4 points scored so far, so nothing really to be gained for Per from this. The real battle is going to be between the 2 outside riders, Sam Ermolenko in white and Erik Gundersen in yellow and black. Ermolenko, 3 previous world title attempts so far. The only American to qualify this year, won the USA qualifying round. And I think he might well have surprised himself. Sudden Sam really came good today at Vojens. An outsider by looking at the form so far and the Danes' potential performance. They've monopolised the World Championship over the last 4 years. Gundersen and Nielsen, between them, have won the last 4 titles. Ermolenko, not really reckoned to be in the running today, but by golly, he's gone well. And the riders now on 1 minute. John Davis causing a bit of a hiccup on the inside there in red. But coming up to the tape now. A bit of machine problem earlier on, but seems to have it sorted. Gundersen in yellow and black. A very tense moment for him, because he will know this makes or breaks it for him. Anxious anxiously looking over his shoulder, Erik Gundersen. Ole Olsen is very much in evidence here, helping his protege. And Gundersen and Ermolenko. Gundersen it is. Gundersen to the rapturous applause of the partisan crowd here. And coming through, it's Jonsson. Jonsson in blue into second. Gundersen leading. Ermolenko has been pushed down into third. Per Jonsson for Sweden. And Reading Racers up into second place. But Gundersen streaking away, driving this race from the front, heading towards a maximum again, striving in third place. It's Ermolenko in the white helmet, but no mistaking the leader, Erik Gundersen. This is taking him towards 12 points. It's exactly what he wants to do. Hans Nielsen will be an anxious spectator. But coming up to the last lap flag, Gundersen. Per Jonsson in second in the blue helmet. So Jonsson looking to move on to 7 points. Ermolenko can do nothing about it. He's having to settle for third and kiss his chances goodbye. Gundersen hit a bump, but it's under control. Coming out of the first turn. He's done it. Gundersen wins. Jonsson comes home in second. A good ride by Per Jonsson from Sweden. A brilliant win by Erik Gundersen. Unbeaten so far. Shakes hands with Per Jonsson because that did Gundersen an awful lot of good. Jonsson, the fellow Scandinavian, pushed Ermolenko down into third and stretched the gap. But no mistaking the start. A brilliant start. An absolutely terrific gate out of track 4 for Erik Gundersen. Round the outside, closed the door. There was nowhere for Ermolenko to go, but he had a look at the outside line. But by that time, Per Jonsson was on the inside line and driving hard. A scintillating performance from Gundersen. A demonstration in Speedway excellence. Mark is in the white helmet, and on the outside another Englishman, Chris Morton from Bellevue, only 3 points so far from his rides. Not a good day for Chris. Tatum also will be sorely disillusioned because he was expecting bigger things, but luck hasn't really gone his way. He had that machine problem which slowed him when in sight of the checkered flag, but he would be looking for the win in this one if he's going to do anything about keeping a respectable position and at least being the pride of the British pack. So Tatum in red, that's the man we're looking for. And it is indeed Kelvin Tatum in the red helmet who goes into an early lead. Fighting through into second place and almost drawing alongside. It's young Jan Pedersen, and he does take the lead. Pedersen passes Tatum. So Janne Pedersen, it is in white. The tiny, tiny Dane taking the lead now. So he's really hunting for the gold. He's pushed Tatum back into second, but he's making no mistake about this. And he's riding a wonderfully controlled race. Little Janne Pedersen. Tatum in second. In third place, it's Ivarsson from Sweden. But Tatum can do nothing about the flying Dane. One of the 4 Danes really putting on the style today, Janne Pedersen. The last lap flag is out. The track drying out as each race goes on. 8-10 machine lengths in it, and look at the extra power that this little Dane gets out of his bike due to his lack of weight, heading for the checkered flag. Janne Pedersen in white takes the win. Poor Kelvin Tatum for Great Britain can do no better than second place and 2 points. And in third place, Connie Ivarsson from Sweden, riding in blue. A tremendous ride by Janne Pedersen. And he didn't get the gate, he fought the hard way. He came from the back. Tatum was there, he got the whole shot. He slung it sideways, but Pedersen had his eyes on him. He drove hard, and by the third turn had caught and passed him. Round the outside, Pedersen powering his bike, going wide of Tatum and stretching it out neck and neck. Tatum could do nothing about it whatsoever, even though he has the inside line. Pedersen comes across, closes the door. He's hard on the inside, and there's nowhere else for Kelvin Tatum to go. He just has to accept defeat and the runner-up spot. Heat 16 should be something of a formality for Hans Nielsen because he's not really got any opposition, but he must win it. We have had surprises. His arch rival, Erik Gundersen, has had 4 wins from 4 rides. He's sitting on 12 points. If Nielsen has to stand any chance of keeping his championship hopes alive, he must take a 3 here, which will put him on to 11. They each then will have 1 more ride, which really can be the decider. If Gundersen wins his next ride, he's won it, but Nielsen must win this one. There is no shadow of a doubt he has to take the win. Nielsen on the inside in red. Next to him, John Jorgensen in blue for Denmark. Roman Jankowski goes in white from Poland, and on the outside, a fellow Pole, having scored 2 points so far, Zenon Kasperjak. The revs are building, pushing the tapes, Jankowski. But Nielsen makes no mistake. Immediately into the lead, just rockets away from the rest of the opposition, throws a few crumbs from the table as he streaks off down the back straight. He really must take his time, settle down. Ivan Major will be watching this with his heart in his mouth, having guided Nielsen through his career. This could have been, in fact it still might be, Nielsen's 3rd consecutive title, but it is rather looking as though Gundersen is going to make him work for it. Nielsen leading. The rest of the battle pulling a celebration wheelie down the back straight, as much to say to the crowd, I've got this one sewn up and I'm going to really deliver the goods in the last one, pulling wheelies over the line. Showmanship all the way for Hans Nielsen. Locked it up beautifully there, playing with the opposition. That's how easy it is. I'd like to see him do that with Erik Gundersen if they had a head-to-head. But there he is, celebrating the win. Superb control. The blue helmet of John Jorgensen came home in 2nd. And in 3rd place, Zenon Kasperjak from Poland to pick up the odd point. But a contemptible display of riding by Hans Nielsen, who really showed the others the way round. His fellow countryman Jorgensen could do nothing about the way he convincingly wrapped up Heat 16. Dynamic gating style from Nielsen, still trailing the right-hand leg. Already 3 machines lengths halfway round the first turn. That's how easy it is for a world champion. A rundown on the title standing so far. Leading the table, Erik Gundersen on 12 points. Next to him, Hans Nielsen on 11. Another Dane in 3rd, Jano Pedersen on 10. The American Omelenko was on 9. Simon Wigg for Great Britain, the best UK performer, 5th place on 7. Matusek for Czechoslovakia on 7, equal with Wigg. 1 more win, that's all Erik Gundersen needs to clinch the 1988 World Individual Speedway title. And he starts from gate 1 in the red helmet. Tiani from Hungary outside him, Kasperjak and Pedersen on the outside. The only man likely to cause Gundersen any problems, but he's making no mistake. And he's been passed down the back straight by Jano Pedersen. Pedersen in front of Gundersen. So Jano Pedersen desperately trying to get the 3 because he's on 10 points. What a turn up for the books. It's little Jan Pedersen leading Gundersen. This really is spectacular stuff, and it's just what Hans Nielsen needs, little Jan Pedersen. What a dramatic turnaround. Erik Gundersen cannot do a thing about it. I was wondering whether there would be team tactics, but there's no such thing. A spectacular Heat 17. Jan Pedersen showing Erik Gundersen his rear wheel. Gundersen striving to power his bike round the outside. This really is tooth and nail stuff. They're on their last lap. It's going right to the last bend. Can Gundersen do anything about it? Pedersen is staying tight. Gundersen trying, but Pedersen it is. Jan Pedersen gets the 3 points. Gundersen gets the 2. And over the line in 3rd, it was riding in the blue helmet. I got so excited. Blue take it. That's Tihani for Hungary. But what a dramatic Heat 17. Pedersen only had to beat Gundersen to destroy his possible chances or the guarantee of an overall win, and he did it. Gundersen got the gate, but Jan Pedersen did exactly what we've seen him do. In 2 early instances, the back wheel of Gundersen's bike went out into Pedersen, but little Jan Pedersen was on the outside, leaned on him, shut the door, and just kept on driving. That was a tremendous race. The best action we've seen so far. Pedersen took the win, so now we really have a tooth and nail tussle going all the way to Nielsen's last ride. No mistaking the winner, Jan Pedersen. The Danish crowd is delighted, but in the same breath they're disappointed because it could have wrapped it up all in one go for Erik Gundersen, and he had no answer to his little fellow countryman. The presence of three English riders in this heat pales into insignificance because the rider in red, Hans Nielsen, has to win this heat to go into a run-off situation with Erik Gundersen because he'll move on to 14 points. That dramatic race by Janno Pedersen stole victory from under Gundersen's nose and left the title wide open again for Hans Nielsen to snatch back. It will also sort out the top English scorer because Tatum and Simon Wigg riding in, Wigg is in blue, Tatum's in yellow and black, are on 7 points. But Nielsen has to win, and I suspect the only man who can do anything about that will be Kelvin Tatum, riding in yellow and black on the outside. The fourth man, John Davis in white for Great Britain. But Nielsen takes the early lead. Nielsen goes in front. So Nielsen, the crowd leaping and screaming. Tatum pulls a wheelie, the front wheel goes up. He lost his momentum. This race is already looking like Nielsen's. So if he wins this, and it certainly looks as though he's going to, he'll go on to 14 points on one of the most exciting World Speedway finals for years. In blue, Simon Wigg is looking for the 2-point position. It looks as though he's going to get it. Hans Nielsen has really been given a second opportunity. He lives again. And the head-to-head, the confrontation between Nielsen and Gundersen will be something to behold because, whilst firm friends, they are deadly Speedway rivals on the track. Nielsen in red. No wheelers this time. No mistakes. No showing off. Take it steady. The gap he has now something like 25, 30 metres. Coming round towards the checkered flag. Hans Nielsen picks up the 3 points he needed. In second place it was Simon Wigg for Great Britain. And in third... going into the turn. There was nothing anybody else could do about it, although Tatum strove too hard, picked up the front and lost his momentum. Nielsen, superb display. Brilliant, brilliant ride. And now the crowd holding their breath because they know they have the battle of a lifetime coming up now very shortly. Heat 20 and an important one for Sam Ermolenko from the USA, riding in blue because a win here will give him 3 points and guarantee him 4th place in the competition. 4 previous World Final appearances. 4th will not be the best he's done. He was 3rd in 1985 at Bradford. But nevertheless, I would think he's well pleased with his performance today if he can secure this win. Riding immediately on the inside of him, Chris Morton in the red helmet for Great Britain. Nothing Chris can do except add to his 3-point total. Antal Kocho from Hungary goes in the white helmet on gate 3. And on the far outside, Roman Jankowski for Poland in yellow and black. But Ermolenko in blue is the man we're looking for. Kocho gates well round the outside. Ermolenko almost locks up. That's through Chris Morton. So Morton for Great Britain. The rain's still falling, but Chris Morton in red for Great Britain. Ermolenko in blue, fighting hard round the outside. Kocho for Hungary there. Morton takes off a rip-off so he can see. His vision was obscured by flying shale, but clears his lens neck and neck. This is a tremendous heat for the last one. And round the outside and into the lead goes Ermolenko, but he's going wide. Morton hugging the inside line. Good action all the way to the flag. Really good stuff here. Ermolenko still fighting, but goes wide. Morton takes him out into the fence. Ermolenko looking at the inside line. Comes through on the inside. Pushes Morton out. Sam Ermolenko in blue. Morton coming through. The last lap flag is out. One more lap to go. Nail-biting stuff. A gripping last heat. But it is indeed Sam Ermolenko in blue leading now, having had a frantic tussle with Chris Morton in the red. Ermolenko comes home for the victory. Chris Morton it is in second. And in third place, the rider in the white helmet, Antal Kocho from Hungary. A very good ride for Ermolenko, but he had to fight all the way. He earned his beer money that time, shakes hands with Morton. He knows it was a good tussle. One of the best races we've seen in the first few laps this afternoon. And Morton took him all the way to the flag. And you can see just how well Ermolenko gated but Morton switched his line. He was hugging tight. Ermolenko went wide. It was very slick. Left the door wide open. Morton said, "Thank you very much," and drove through. Way up the back straight, still heading Sam Ermolenko. The Hungarian takes off a visor there. But no question about the winner. Sam Ermolenko moves into 4th place in the competition, and a well-fought win for him here in convincing style ahead of Chris Morton from Great Britain. The pièce de résistance of the 1988 World Individual Speedway Championships. This is what the crowd came for. They hoped we'd get into a runoff situation, and we indeed have a runoff situation between the two top Danes, the men who have totally dominated the world of international speedway over the past 4 years. Riding in red from gate 1, Hans Nielsen, the 2 times world champion, going for 3 in a row. And in gate 3, in white, Erik Gundersen, also going for his 3rd championship, but he was the winner in 1984 and 1985. He looked all the way through this meeting as though the title was his, but it was thrown right wide open in that crucial Heat 17 when little Jan Petersen flew through and stole outright victory from under Gundersen's nose, causing him to pair off in a head-to-head with Hans Nielsen. I personally feel that Nielsen gating from gate 1 will have the advantage, but it remains to be seen just what does happen. It's over 4 laps. Will they demolish the track record? Who knows? The conditions are quite slick because since they last rode, we've had heavy rain here, so anything can happen. Jano Petersen has guaranteed himself a 3rd place on the spot, so it is truly a Danish 1-2-3 no matter what happens. The outcome of this race will decide the title winner and all the perks that go with it. It's not just the £3,000 individual prize put up by the FIM, it's all the sponsorship money, the possible film screen tests. Away they go. A good start by Nielsen, but round the outside goes Gundersen. The crowd here are absolutely rising. Nielsen lost traction. He couldn't drive out of the bend. Erik Gundersen controlled the bend. He took the wide line. He was on the dry stuff. Nielsen was on the slippery. He couldn't do anything about it. Erik Gundersen going wide, but they're both going wide because it's so slick. The track conditions can indeed catch both of them unawares. And Gundersen almost locking up. He has to go very, very gently. He'll be breathing in. This will be the longest race he's ever done. Heading towards the last lap flag. 1.5 laps to do for Erik Gundersen to clinch the 1988 individual World Speedway crown. He's got some 25 machine lengths over Hans Nielsen. Gundersen is looking like a winner. He glanced over his shoulder. There's nothing Nielsen can do. He's accepted defeat. One more bend stands between Erik Gundersen, outright victory, and the spoils of war. Gundersen has won the title. The flagman dances in delight. The Danish crowd acknowledge what has to be one of the most popular victories. Erik Gundersen can't believe it. From having certain victories snatched from underneath his nose, he came back in the runoff to defeat Hans Nielsen. Nielsen, one of the first men to congratulate him. 3 in a row was not to be. That privilege stands to the great Ivan Major, who was world champion in 69, 70 and 71. Tremendous achievement. That record still stands. Gundersen getting the traditional bumps. A long-standing tradition in the speedway world. The crowd absolutely over the moon. A just winner. He fought back in the face of adversity almost when it looked as though Jan Petersen was going to steal victory from his grasp. Nielsen knew what he had to do, but he lost it on the first turn. He drove into the slippery stuff. And Gundersen was driving well. Walks sadly off the track as the rain falls. A very, very sad and heartbroken Hans Nielsen. And it's won and lost on this first turn. Gundersen's got the outside line. Normally it would have been a disadvantage, but in this case it proved to be to his advantage because Nielsen was locked up too much. He was on the slippery stuff. Gundersen took the wide line in, the short line out. He was on the dry, he was driving, and from that moment he never looked back. He gave an impeccable display of World Championship Speedway style to leave Nielsen almost floundering in his wake, acknowledging the crowd. It was that easy once he got underway. There was nothing Nielsen could do about it. We've had a tremendous afternoon. He punches the air with delight as he goes under the tape. A fantastic effort for Gunderson and a very, very popular victory indeed. Confirmation of the result. Erik Gundersen took the final honours on 17 points. Hans Nielsen was the runner-up on 16. In third place, little Jano Pedersen on 13. Sam Omelenko from the USA on 12. Simon Wigg in fifth place on 9. Per Jonsson jointly with him on 9, joint fifth. Seventh, Roman Matusek from Czechoslovakia on 8. And Kelvin Tatum on 8.